If you like my dad's videos, please subscribe to QA Insights channel.
Welcome to Learn JMeter series. In this season 3, episode 7, we are going to start learning about logic controllers. Let us begin with if controller. If controller helps you to evaluate the condition and it will decide whether to run your elements or not. Whatever you keep under the if controller, it can be one element or it can be multiple elements. So based on the condition output, it will evaluate and then it will proceed further. Here, the important thing you have to notice, the condition must evaluate and return either true or false value. If it is returning something else, then it will not be able to evaluate. As you see in the screen, in the left side, we have checked the option interpret condition as variable expression. So you must check this for the performance reason. So if you check this box, you have to either evaluate the condition. You can either you can use the JXL3 language or the Groovy language. But if you uncheck it, what will happen is you will get an alert message stating that for performance wise, it is advised to check, because if you uncheck it, JMeter will use JavaScript and then performance wise will not be able to scale your test. So it is always important to check this box and make sure your condition is evaluating and returning the value true or false. And there is another checkbox, evaluate for all children. If you check this box, what will happen? It will evaluate the condition for every children under the if controller. If you uncheck it, then it will execute only the entry point. Now let us see how you will write some condition based on JXL3 or the Groovy. This can be achieved either two ways. One is using the variable. Suppose if you have a variable, say order underscore placed, which has the value true, then the condition will be evaluated and then it will proceed further. Or you can simply type true, or you can use some built-in variable, JMeter variable, which has the value true or false. But if you want to evaluate some condition, then you have to use the JXL language, Java expression language 3, or you can write Groovy. So in this case, the JXL3 will compare the two string test equals test, and then it will return true. And the second example, we are getting the latency from the previous HTTP sampler, and we are just converting to integer, and then we are evaluating whether it is less than 50 or not. So based on the output, it will execute further, otherwise it will go to the next element. Now let us see a quick demo. Let us see how we can leverage if controller in JMeter. As you see in the screen, I have created a simple thread group just with a debug sampler and view results tree. So let us add a logic controller. So just right click on thread group and go to add and go to logic controller and select if controller. So by default, this option will be checked. Interpret condition as variable expression will be checked. And here you have to write the expression. So let us start with a very simple example with a variable. Let us go to test plan and click on this add button, and let us add a variable, say age max, and the value is true. Now let us use this variable in our condition. So now the age underscore max value is true. So basically, if this value is true, then it will execute the elements inside the if controller. So let us go to add sampler and let us add the dummy sampler. So this is dummy sampler 1, which is inside if, and let us execute this. So now it will evaluate the condition and then it will execute the dummy sampler and then it will display the result. Because the value is true, so the condition is pass. But now let us delete this and let us type just true. So now what will happen is it will just execute the dummy sampler inside if. And if it is false, it will not execute. Okay, so just to validate, let us add a dummy sampler here, and we can say outside if, and let us clear this and run this. So now it will execute only outside if, because this condition is false. Okay, this is a very simple example by making use of the variable or just typing the true or false value. Now let us write a simple Java expression language. So to write the Java expression language, you can make use of the tools functional helper dialog. If you go to tools, just click on function helper dialog and go to JXL3 here. and you can write your expression. So here let us execute write true equals true, and click on generate and copy to clipboard, and you can just paste it here. So now it will evaluate the string value true equals true, or you can write say name equals name, and if you execute this, it will execute inside the if and outside the if, because the condition is true here. So it is going inside the if controller and it is executing the inside if dummy sampler. Similarly, you can make use of Groovy. So in this case, what I'm going to do is let me add a dummy sampler here. And let us get the latency of the dummy sampler by making use of the Groovy script. And here I'm going to write previous dot get latency dot to integer. This will give you the value of the previous sampler's latency, and then it will convert to the integer. So now what we can do is let us write the if condition here. So this will not be successful. Let us see why. So if we execute this, what will happen is basically it will not evaluate the condition, because we are just getting the value of the integer. We are not comparing with anyone. So we have to write another Groovy to validate this expression. So let us go to tools again, go to function helper dialog, and go to Groovy again and paste the Groovy script again. And here we have to write less than 100, and again click on generate and copy to clipboard. Now if you paste it here, so this will evaluate, it will get the value and then it will evaluate using this less than 100 milliseconds. So now let us execute. So now if you see, first it is executing the dummy sampler, then if it is evaluating the if controller, which is true because the latency is less than 100 milliseconds. Latency is 23, which is pass. So it is executing inside the dummy sampler one if, inside if, and then it is executing the outside if. So this is how you will make use of the Groovy and then the variable and just a simple expression true or false in your if controller. So if you want to validate whether your last sample is successful or not, you can just simply click on this use status of a last sample. So this will evaluate the last sample is okay or not. So if it is okay, it will go inside if. It is not okay, it will not execute the elements inside the if controller. So it's very simple, and make sure you use JXL3 or Groovy, and make sure the value is, the output value is either true or false. That's it guys on my side. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you have time, please go to my next tutorial. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.
If you like my dad's videos, please subscribe to QA Insights channel.